Welcome back to Grandpa's Time. One of my grandsons and I went camping yesterday, and we took kind of a long drive, so I'm going to check the oil today. So that's what this video is about, just checking your oil. First thing you have to do is find the hood release, which on my truck here is just on the left near the floor. If you're sitting, it's on the left there. So I'm just going to pull that. You probably heard that noise. That's the first latch coming loose. Then you just got to find the other latch, which is right here in the middle. And then you lift up the hood. As you're looking at the engine on this truck, my oil and transmission fluid are both on this side. They're usually either going to be yellow or they're going to be orange. And a lot of times it'll actually show a little oil can on the newer ones, but on this one it's just yellow. And you always want to check the oil when it's cold. So when you make sure that the car or truck is flat and that the engine is cold, or that at least that after you turned it off, you let it sit for 20 minutes or a half hour. So we'll check the oil. Okay, the first time I pull the oil stick out, the dipstick, what we call it usually, when I pull that out, we're going to just wipe it off and then put it back in there and make sure that we're getting an accurate reading. So I'll pull it out the first time, wipe it off, pull it out the second time, we'll take a look at it. Okay, I hope you can see that okay. You can see where the add line and the full line is, and that's sort of the in-between there. But you don't want to overfill it. Okay, now when you see the oil there, it's right on the top of the fill line, which is fine. You might notice how black this oil is. That's just the way diesels are. Whoops, I just dripped. But you might notice how black that oil is. That's just how diesels are. I'm right at the top of the fill line, so we've got plenty of oil. And that's really all there is to it. Just make sure when you replace your dipstick that it's seated all the way down. And that's it. That's checking the oil. Do another video next time. We'll do transmission fluid. You need to do that when it's running. So we'll do that later. Okay, this is the engine oil for my wife's car. You see it actually says engine oil on it. Grandma's car here. And it tells you the type of oil. See owner's manual. The owner's manual will tell you, how many quarts you need to put in. But yeah, it's pretty simple on this one here. I don't do much to it because I want the dealership to have a record of everything. But it would be pretty easy to add oil here. Okay. And check oil there. As you can see, like the one on my truck, this one's yellow, but it actually says engine oil on it. And this is where I'd add the engine oil on the truck here. I'd use a funnel. Well, I'd use a funnel on both vehicles if I was going to add oil. You don't want to spill oil onto other stuff. So hopefully now you have an understanding of how to check the oil, where to check the oil, and where the oil goes. And I'm just going to explain the last part about this, which is what the numbers on oil means. There's 5W30 and 10W30, 10W40, 1540. There's all these different numbers. Well, what do they mean? The best way I think I'm just going to read this. This is from the Napa website. Oil weight can be a confusing term. This is partly because weight doesn't actually refer to how a particular lubricant tips the scales. Excuse me. It does, however, have an important bearing on the life of your engine, and the type of oil you choose is intimately linked to manufacturer recommendations, the climate you live in, and the type of driving that you do. So oil weight is a term used to describe the viscosity of an oil, which means how well it flows at a specific temperature. The Society of Automotive Engineers, SAE, assigns a viscosity number or weight to oil based on its flow at 210 degrees Fahrenheit, which is roughly the standard operating temperature for most motors. The higher the temperature, the thicker or slower flowing it is, which changes the nature of how it coats internal engine components and protects against heat and friction. This means that a 30-weight oil flows more quickly than 50-weight oil, but doesn't offer quite the same level of protection at higher operating temperatures or in stressful conditions. And it talks about winter also. So, like, for example, 5W30 weight rating means that on a cold start, even at sub-zero temperatures, the oil flows like a 5-weight oil. You should always use the engine oil weight that is recommended by your vehicle's manufacturer in the owner's manual. That being said, most manuals will recommend a range of oils that take into account how harsh your winters might be and whether you'll be putting extra stress on your engine by towing or hauling a heavy load. There's a no one-size-fits-all answer to motor oil selection. Just be sure to consult your manual and choose the oil grade that matches how you drive for the best possible engine protection. Okay? The other thing I'll say about that is diesel engines require an oil that says on there for diesel engines, and that's because there's additives in that oil that'll protect that engine better at higher pressures. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, put them in the comments, and thanks for watching. I'm gonna go cool off. It's warm today, 95.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Woo! Good job.